You think you don't have enough money to buy a home? Well, think again. So y'all, about 3 months ago, I got a referral from a past client and said they wanted to buy a house. Unfortunately, they didn't have a whole lot of money saved up. So my first thought was to help find my buyer a house where the sellers have enough equity in the home to where they can cover my buyer's closing costs for them. So we toured a few homes. We saw a few that he liked, saw a few that he didn't like. Considering the amount of closing costs we need, there were some offers that we did miss out on because at the end of the day, the seller has a number that they're looking to get. And if you're asking for $20,000 in closing costs, that could really put a damper on an investor's profit, which led us to finding this beautiful property right here behind me. So it took us about 2 weeks to find this property after my client was pre-approved, but that's okay because sometimes it takes a minute to find the right one. By the time me and my client found this property, it was already on the market for 90 days, which immediately led me to think that there was so much room for negotiation in this deal. From the very first time I toured the property, there were some things that stuck out to me from the jump. One being the layout. It was extremely unique. Number two, it needed some TLC. You know, it wasn't in bad shape, but it wasn't all the way in perfect shape either. Once we toured it and I figured out that my client liked it, he gave me the green light to go ahead and submit an offer. And I knew we was in there just by how long it was sitting on the market. Now, given the fact that we were asking for about $21,000 in closing costs, it was still a little bit risky, but you don't know if you don't ask. That's what I did. We asked, got the offer accepted, and now we're here today about to close on this property next week. So some of the things that actually helped us get an accepted offer, even with asking for so much closing costs, one, the amount of days that it was on the market. Like I said, this property was on the market for around 90 days. So if you were a seller trying to sell your home, and it's been on the market for 3 months, wouldn't you want to get it off? Number two, there were some things that weren't done in the property. And typically with a first-time home buyer, they're going to want to move into a property that's already done. They don't want to have to do a whole bunch of repairs. Number three, being straightforward with the listing agent alone really helped us out when it came to getting this offer accepted. Because a lot of times in real estate, people do a lot of jibber jabber, but we ain't like that around here. We straight to the point. Let's get the deal done. And that's exactly how I saved my client over $20,000 in closing cost assistance. If you're interested in being a homeowner but think you don't have enough money, think about calling your 757 Home Girl.